The Boston Celtics have found their next star, as Jordan Walsh has been an absolute animal for the Boston Celtics this season, especially since joining the starting lineup. The Boston Celtics have been on an absolute roll and have turned around their season for the better, and that is because of the play of Jordan Walsh. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video here on Celtics Digest. I am your host, Patrick Billings, and before we get into anything, guys, if you're loving the content that we're doing here on Celtics Digest, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you love Celtics content and you don't subscribe to us, I mean, what are you doing? If you're watching the videos already, you might as well join up. It's free. You guys have been absolutely fantastic, showing love on a lot of our videos. We do a lot of post-game updates, news like this, and even trade rumors as well. So if you guys love Boston Celtics basketball, you're going to want to be over here on Celtics Digest because we're constantly dropping new content every single day, every single week. So if you guys don't want to miss anything, if you're too busy, come over here. We'll drop a quick video for you guys and you get to be updated with all Celtics content. And without further ado, let's get into this video, as this one's a pretty big video, honestly, and deserves a lot of kudos because Jordan Walsh has been the man. I mean, this guy, I am falling in love with Jordan Walsh. Since the day we drafted him, I knew the type of player that he was. Being a 5-star coming out of high school, being a one and done at Arkansas, not really getting the opportunities at Arkansas, but now he is showing the potential that he has because the Celtics have been a brand new team with him in this starting lineup. So we're going to get right into this one as we look at something that NBC Sports kind of dropped to give us a couple of talking points here, as Jordan Walsh has been providing a spark at both ends on the floor for the Boston Celtics, as it's not a coincidence that they've started on a 10-2 run since him being in the starting lineup, and the 2023 second-round pick has been one of the most improved players this season, absolutely, and so has Neemias Queta. We got to give him some kudos there as well, but his defense has always been very good, and it's one of the primary reasons why he was drafted in the first place. I mean, this is a guy, a forward, about 6'6" with a 7'2" wingspan, and all his career, he has been practicing with some of the best players in the NBA. I mean, he was a part of that championship team, and think about who he had to guard in practice every single day. Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday, Derrick White, Sam Hauser, Peyton Pritchard. These are not easy guys to guard, and having that luxury is huge for a player like Jordan Walsh coming into the NBA, being a teenager and now really growing into this role, into the starting role, just being prepared for, his time to come. And he really has proved it. We saw in the Summer League, we were getting some mixed signals. Maybe this isn't the guy that we thought that he was. But now with the likes of Jaylen Brown coming out, telling Joe Mazzulla, you need to play this guy. He is really good defensively, and his defense has translated to some really good offense as well. So thank you, Jaylen Brown, for getting Jordan Walsh into this lineup, because he has changed the whole season for you guys for the better. And he is averaging 14 points on 76.5% shooting and 63.6% from the three-point line over the last 5 games. And he's not just hitting a bunch of three-pointers either, as Walsh is scoring points in the paint too, including second-chance points from offensive rebounds and putback dunks, as we saw that fantastic putback dunk a couple of days ago. And this has been a big part as well, is usually when you're playing good defense, you get a lot of confidence, something with a guy who wasn't getting a lot of playing time before this run, and you get confidence in playing one side of the floor, and the guys start to trust you more. And now we put him in the dunker spot, or even sitting in the corner, creating some space for when Jaylen Brown wants to get downhill for a kick out. He trusts the guy like Jordan Walsh to hit that shot now, and that brings more confidence into Jordan Walsh's game than ever, and especially the offensive rebounding point, as the Celtics are not the best defensive rebounding team, which hopefully this will start to translate into more defensive rebounds for Jordan Walsh to help this team. But those second chance opportunities on the offensive end have been huge for this Boston Celtics team in this run as well. Then we look at the key for Jordan Walsh is maintaining this level of play on a consistent basis, the fact that teams need to respect his ability to stretch the floor as an outside shooter a lot more than they did in the past is a huge game changer for the Boston Celtics, like I said a little bit ago. And the Celtics needed a role player or two to take a huge leap with Tatum out, and Walsh has filled that role extremely well so far. And I don't think any of us can hate that comment either, because the 10-2 just stands out as the main point, first of all. And clearly, with everything that he has done, he has been the difference, the shift of energy for this team who started off 0-3 to the season. We were talking about, man, are we going to get a top 3 pick this year? Is AJ Dibansa going to come back to Boston and have him link up with JT and JB? Man, like, imagine thinking about that. But now here we are thinking about, like, man, what about when JT comes back playing with Jordan Walsh? This team is going to be lethal. And I mean, you got to give all kudos to Brad Stevens as well for finding guys like this, getting some guys on cheap contracts that have been able to really stand out for this team and make them who they are, and finally finding their identity. And that has come through Jordan Walsh. As we look at these 12 games here, I'll leave it up on the screen for a little bit for you guys to look, and we'll touch on a couple of games. But these are the 12 games that he has started for the Boston Celtics. And if you guys like pictures better than words like I do, if you look at the results there's a lot of green W's and only 2 red L's. Let's not focus on the one against the Nets in the NBA Cup game. We won't talk about that one. But if we look at a couple of these games here, as Jordan Walsh shooting 100% from the field against Washington and against the New York Knicks, and then 2 games after that, 6 for 7 and 4 for 8. His shooting has been incredible, especially from the three-point line, having a career high against the Washington Wizards with 22 points, and in a game against Toronto, having 3 of his steals, the only 3 steals of the game being in the first 3 minutes of that first quarter to start. I mean, he has been an absolute just spark plug for this team, something we saw last year with Peyton Pritchard, what his role was, that he loved coming off the bench, being that spark plug. Now it's Jordan Walsh being the spark plug for this team and in a starting role. I mean, we saw the reason why he got into this because of what he's shown coming off the bench, being a spark plug. But now Joe Mazzulla sees it like we could use him defensively. And with the Boston Celtics fouling a lot this season, probably committing the most fouls in the NBA this season, having a guy like that be able to guard 1 through 5 has been an absolute difference and a blessing for this Boston Celtics team. And of course, we'll go here as Noah Dalzell was tweeting right before we made this video that the Celtics young wings have been on fire from three-point range this season, and we'll definitely just be touching on Jordan Walsh, but shooting 45.7% on, we'll call it 2 attempts per game, and that's just really him creating space on the offensive end. And if you give him a 50% chance to hit a three-pointer with wide open space, I'm sure that a lot of teams are not really respecting him yet, but some people are worrying about him now. 45.7% from 3 is definitely no joke, and this has been another huge thing for the Boston Celtics is Jordan Walsh shooting the ball pretty dang well, and he deserves a lot of credit, and so does Jaylen Brown. But if we go and look, of course, at another thing here on the defensive end, which has really made him the player that he is, as our boy Jack Simone, who's been on here before, talking about the NBA stars that he has guarded this season. Look at this list. This is an absolutely ridiculous list full of all-stars, and some of them having incredible seasons this year, as James Harden being one of the hardest players to guard in the NBA, Karl Anthony Towns, one of the best shooting bigs in the NBA, Austin Reeves, one of the best players in the NBA this season. I'm giving him his respect, but we remember that Tyrese Maxey game against the Sixers where he shut him down to end that game in the fourth quarter to really help the Celtics pull out a win. I mean, this list is truly impressive, but what really stands out is none of these guys are the same. They're not the same player, like I said. So he is able to guard their other team's best guard, the other team's best big man, and step up and just not let them score. Like, I don't think there's really anything other than that to say. Like, these guys can't score on him. The best stat here is probably James Harden and Anthony Edwards, which are both shooting under 50% from the field anyways, and holding a guy like Austin Reeves, who has been absolutely knocked down from everywhere on the floor, to an offer. Same with Cade Cunningham. A lot of people saying that he is an MVP candidate this season, holding him to the offer. I mean, there's nothing more to say about Jordan Walsh other than him being an absolute vital point to this Boston Celtics team this season and to everything that they have done. And we couldn't be more blessed to have Jordan Walsh on our squad to step up with our guy Jayson Tatum down. But man, think about when Tatum comes back playing with Jordan Walsh. A lot of good things are going to happen. This team could be a real contender, being the 3rd seed in the East right now. There is a lot of things to be happy about as a Boston Celtics fan, and I hope you guys are happy about it just as much as I am. So you guys let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are on Jordan Walsh's season so far, and do you think it's going to continue, and do you think it's going to get even better? Man, I hope so. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this one, go ahead, hit that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe as well. There's more content coming out real soon. And make sure, again, you leave those comments down below because I want to know your thoughts on this. And thank you so much for watching this one. Let's go Boston Celtics. Peace out, everybody.